Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Weez. Today we're getting back into Assassin's Creed 2. I turn Assassin's Creed into TV shows, and Season 2 is Assassin's Creed 2. So in the last video, we watched Assassin's Creed 2 Episode 1, and in this video we're going to be watching Assassin's Creed 2 Episode 2. So we got to the point where Ezio had just found his father's assassin's den, if you want to call it that, in his office, the hidden room behind the fireplace, and he has put on his father's assassin's gear for the first time. So we're gonna be kicking off from that moment. Also, just a reminder, if you would like to watch these uninterrupted, they're all on the channel, so you can binge watch Assassin's Creed as a TV show.
I've got a little request for you. I've identified several strange markings that I've discovered right across Renaissance Italy. Now, I don't know what they're doing there, but I want you to help me find out. Rebecca has marked their general location in the database with an eye icon, and she's made them glow as well. Keep an eye out.
Traditore! Hey, what's with the swords? Aren't you supposed to arrest me? No. Ezio Auditore? What are you doing here at this hour? I don't... Wait, child. Take a breath. Collect your thoughts. My father and brothers have been imprisoned. I was told to bring you this. Ah. I see now. It's a misunderstanding, Ezio.
The first time I played this through, I never noticed Rodrigo Borgia in the background here, because at this point in time you don't know who he is, and I did not watch Lineage before the first time playing this, so I had no idea who this guy was, didn't even think twice about him. But as you play on in the game and then you realize who he is, when you go to play it a second time, you see him here and you know, but you understand that Ezio has no idea.
I'll clear everything up.
How?
The documents you've given me contain evidence of a conspiracy against your family and against the city. I'll present these papers at their hearing in the morning, and they'll be released.
Thank you, Signore.
Of course, my child. Do you need a place to stay? You're more than welcome here.
No, grazie. I'll meet you at the piazza.
Don't worry, Ezio. Everything is going to be fine.
Such a snake. Like, at this point in time, you think that guy's on your side, and so you think, oh, finally, we're gonna fix this. Literally, he is your number one enemy, and you just handed him the evidence that exonerates your family. I mean, as you get to know who Ezio is, in the beginning, he's extremely ignorant and naive. Honestly, you could probably blame his parents for that, because although they're knee-deep in the war between the Assassins and the Templars, they completely kept their kids in the dark. At least Ezio was 100% kept in the dark. Anyway, let's keep going. I had to at least one time climb this building, because it's super iconic for this game.
Giovanni
Auditore! You and your accomplices stand accused of the crime of treason. Have you any evidence to counter this charge?
Yes, the documents that were delivered to you last night.
I'm afraid I know nothing of these documents.
He's lying! Need to get closer.
In the absence of any compelling evidence to the contrary, I am bound to pronounce you guilty. You and your collaborators are hereby sentenced to death.
You are the traitor, Roberto, and one of them. You may take our lives this day, but we will have yours in return, I swear! We will!
Father!
There! Grab the boy! He's one of them!
I'll kill you for what you've done!
Guards! Arrest him!
Abatete.
Better run, boy. And fast.
Don't get away! Don't lose him again! I don't see him! There! After him! Hurry!
I also did mention this in the last one, but I took the Christina memories out of Brotherhood and I put it in its rightful timeline in Assassin's Creed 2. So that's why we're seeing this here, because there's a moment I'll talk about later on.
Thank you for coming.
Of course, of course. Tell me, what can I do?
My family's bodies. I can't just leave them hanging from the gallows. I need to give them last rites. Send them on to the next world.
Capisco. Lead the way, Ezio.
They've already been cut down.
What are we going to do?
Hide yourself. I'm going to have a little talk with that guard. Where are the bodies that hung here?
They've already been taken.
Where? Tell me where they are.
I don't know. I think they were taking them down to the river to dump them.
No.
What will you do?
Only one thing to do. Kill them.
No, don't do that. They did nothing wrong.
They follow orders unquestioningly. That makes them...
Ezio?
Va bene. I'll sneak behind their backs. Get my family, one at a time if I have to. And carry them down to the river.
Be careful.
This would actually be so difficult. Like, if you put yourself in Ezio's position, imagine having to carry your dead brother's and father's body, right? After you know they were just killed unjustly. It's rough. And he's only 17 years old.
I have to leave the city. Christina, I want you to come with me.
I want to. But I can't. My family.
Should have gone with
We'll
him.
always be together, Christina.
Ezio.
Sir Ezio, thank God. I've been looking everywhere for you.
I couldn't stop them, Annetta. I tried, I swear. But there were so many guards.
Please, come with me. We need to get you off the streets.
What of my mother and sister?
They're safe. I'll bring you to them.
No, it's too dangerous for us to travel together. Tell me where to go and I'll meet you there.
My sister's house, just north of the Duomo.
I'm on my way. I think we have the wrong building.
No. No, this is it.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Messer Ezio. Annetta speaks quite highly of you. I can see why.
I appreciate the kind words, Madonna.
Ti prego, call me Paola.
Thank you for offering your home to my family, Paola.
It was the least I could do. You must be tired. Perhaps you'd...
No, grazie. I can't stay.
Why? Where are you going?
To kill Uberto Alberti.
I understand your desire for vengeance, but the Gonfaloniere is a powerful man. You are not a killer, Ezio.
Spare me the lecture.
But I can make you one.
And why are you going to teach me how to kill?
I'm not. I'm going to teach you how to survive. Come. Discretion is paramount in my profession. We must walk the streets freely, seen but unseen. You too must learn to blend like us, and become one with the city's crowds. You can go now, girls.
Oh, do we have to? So innocent.
He's cute. Now that you have learned how to approach the enemy, we need to find you a suitable weapon.
What would you have me use?
Ah, but you already have the answer.
Hey, my father's blade and bracer. How did you get them?
By using the same skills I've just taught you.
It's not exactly in working condition.
I assume you're familiar with Leonardo da Vinci.
See, but how does a painter factor into this?
He's far more than that. Bring him the pieces. You'll see.
Before I go, one last question, if I may.
Of course.
Why have you given your aid so readily to me, a stranger?
I too know betrayal.
So I always wondered if Da Vinci was ever an official part of the Assassins, because as time goes on, he does more and more for them, but then also by the end of Brotherhood, Da Vinci is actually given the apple to study. And I don't see the Assassin Brotherhood giving somebody who is not an official member of their creed the apple to study. Although he was not given the apple first by the Assassins. He was given the apple, I believe he was studying the apple for Cesare Borgia. Maybe he wasn't part of the Assassins, but because he had already studied it, they thought he could help them further understand it because he had already spent time studying it. So maybe that's how that all unfolded. Interesting to think about.
Oh, Ezio Auditore! I didn't expect to see you again. What with all that's happened. Ah, where are my manners? Welcome back. Now, how can I be of service?
I was hoping you could repair something of mine.
Of course! Come, this way! Che pasticcio. Tutto santo giorno che cerco. Let me clear a space. All right, let's see it. Fascinating. I don't know, Ezio. Despite its age, the construction is rather advanced. I've never seen anything quite like it. I'm afraid there's not much I can do without the original plans. Mi dispiace. Wait.
What are you doing?
The contents of this page are encrypted, but if my theory is correct, based on these sketches, it may very well...
It may very well what?
Please, sit.
Leonardo,
Shh. Remarkable. If we transpose the letters and then select every third...
This is also definitely one of my favorite moments in this game, in this whole story, because it shows Ezio's willingness to fight for his family. It's one of the most genius things you can do as a writer. You want the reader or the watcher, the player, to relate to the protagonist as much as possible. And the easiest way to do that is by using the premise of family, because everyone has a family. Even someone who, maybe was orphaned or whatever, they then have a circle of friends or people they trust, people they can call family. Everyone has people they care about. And when you use family to endear a character to the people watching or reading or playing, it works every time. Every time, because everyone can relate to that. So, seeing this moment where, Leonardo kind of trolls Ezio a little bit here, but Ezio, he doesn't care. He's completely willing to do whatever is necessary to get not just revenge, but justice for his family.
There, it's finished.
Huh? What's finished?
The blade. I managed to decode that parchment of yours. It showed me exactly what to do. Now all that's left is to remove your ring finger.
Really?
I'm sorry, but this is how it must be done. The blade is designed to ensure the commitment of whoever wields it.
Bene.
Like, immediately, he's just like, okay, all in, here's my finger. Most 17-year-olds would not just give you their fingers so willingly.
Do it quickly.
I was only having fun, Ezio. Though the blade once required a sacrifice, it's been modified. You can keep your finger.
Incredible.
Yes, it is. Tell me, do you have other pages like this?
I'm sorry, only the one.
Listen, if you ever do happen across another one of these, please, bring it to me.
You have my word. And thank you for fixing this.
By order of the Florentine Guard, open this door!
Just a moment. Wait here.
Are you Leonardo da Vinci?
See, how may I be of service?
I need you to answer some questions.
Certainly. What seems to be the trouble?
A witness claims to have seen you consorting with an enemy of the city.
What? Me? Consorting? Preposterous.
When was the last time you saw or spoke with Ezio Auditore?
Who?
Non fare il finto tonto! We know you were close with the family. Perhaps this will help to clear your head. Ready to talk? What about now?
Grazie, Ezio.
Sorry about that.
I've grown accustomed to their abuses.
What of the body?
Bring it inside and put it with the others.
Others?
The city gives them to me for research. See? Like it never happened.
That's actually kind of a cool little historical tidbit you get right there. Leonardo da Vinci, everyone, maybe not everyone, but most people know him as a painter. And like Paola said earlier to Ezio, he is so much more than that. And he really was. He was a genius mind and way ahead of his time. He was more of an engineer and architect, I would say, than a painter. And when you look at some of the designs that he created way back in the day, even designs that he didn't actually build, people have nowadays taken those designs and built them using the exact metrics and materials in order to build them, and then they test them and they actually work. Da Vinci had a very good understanding of physics, over 500 years ago. So this moment is kind of cool because he didn't just take interest in engineering, architecture, and art. He actually took a lot of interest in the anatomy of the body, and so he was granted access to dissect bodies to figure out, the mechanism, the biological mechanism of our bodies, of the human body. It's kind of cool that they add that little historical, detail that's been added in by the writers. And you may not think much about it if you don't actually know much of the history of Da Vinci himself.
Thank you, Leonardo. For everything.
Anytime. And remember, if you find more of those strange pages, bring them to me. Should they contain new designs, I will upgrade your blade as well.
Of course. Now, I really should be getting back to Paola.
Porgile I miei omaggi.
I just realized how good that transition scene is. So, there's no third-person camera or external camera. So in this game, what you have to do is you have to put the character up against something. I believe here I was standing up against a chimney on a rooftop. And as I was standing there, I slowly panned the camera down to the building that he's about to knock on the door of. But then there was a falling feather that panned with the camera, like the camera tracked the falling feather as it panned down. I don't know if I intended to do that, but that's how it ended up working out. And it looks great. I mean, look at that. Sometimes you impress yourself.
You were gone for quite a while.
Leonardo likes to talk.
That he does. But I trust he did more than talk. Impressive.
I'm rather fond of it myself.
I've given you the skills. Leonardo's given you the blade. All that remains is the deed.
Where can I find Uberto?
According to my girls, he'll be attending an unveiling tonight of Verrocchio's latest work. It will be held at the Santa Croce cloister.
Watch over my mother and sister while I'm away.
Of course, Ezio. As if they were my own.
Uberto Alberti, trusted friend of the Auditore family. According to the history books, this guy was a saint. He prosecuted murderers, rapists, the worst criminals. One of the best lawyers in Italy, he won every case, in spite of the fact that he was self-taught. Now, I found a back door into the Templars' database server. I've been combing it for some kind of smoking gun. I found it. Apparently, Uberto's family was evicted by the Medici Bank. Uberto's been aching for revenge ever since. And the Templars promised him support. Ezio's father was standing in the way, and Uberto was jealous of his influence over the Florentine government. Two birds with one stone, isn't it? It looks like Uberto used his election to the Signoria as his opportunity to strike.
Again with this? You have over...
So, that's like a little history debrief, basically, on this historical figure that you're about to target and take out. I actually really like that. I don't believe they did that in the majority of the games, but I think they should have, because this game, you can try to make the argument that, it's all fiction. It's like, okay, it has a fictional story for sure, the assassins versus the Templars, all of that, but it takes place in history, in historically accurate history. The buildings, the characters, the people, it's real history. So giving those history debriefs really adds a lot of perspective, not only to better inform you of who was kind of who and what they did and where they came from and stuff, but also it doesn't just give context, but it keeps you remembering that you're in an animus, right?
Stepped your bounds, Uberto. Who are you to speak of bounds? You who have crowned yourself Lorenzo di Medici, Principe of Firenze. I've done no such thing. Of course not. Ever innocent. How convenient. At least now we see how far your reach extends, which is to say, nowhere at all. It has proved a valuable lesson for me and my allies. Yes. Your allies, the Pazzi. Is that what this is about? Be careful with your words, Lorenzo. You might attract the wrong sort of attention.
Oh, the lovely know how smile. To treat a lady. What was that for me?
Stay put.
Oh, dear. Pleasant surprise.
Good evening, Gonfaloniere.
To you as well. I trust you're enjoying yourselves.
Indeed, a nice distraction from that nasty business with the Auditore family.
And to think I once thought of Giovanni as a brother.
So again, something that they do very well in Assassin's Creed is villainizing the villains. When you want to give the player, the reader, the viewer justice, you want to make sure that they don't just want justice, they need it. And so, as they do with all the previous bad guys up till now, including Assassin's Creed 1, and then this guy kind of being the first bad guy of this game, he kills your brothers and father, and then he gets away with it. And then not only that, but people are praising him for doing it. And so him killing your brothers and father, that's enough for you to want justice. But then seeing him get away with it and people praising him for doing it, well, now that makes you need justice. And then they always seem to do the serious villainizing of the villain you're about to target right before you're able to actually get him, which keeps it fresh in your mind that what he has done and what he deserves for it. And they do it really well in the early Assassin's Creed games. And so here Ezio is waiting to strike, but he hears these conversations, which probably just boils his blood and kind of amps him up even more, I would imagine.
Don't blame yourself. How could you have known what evil's plan?
I say we strike that traitor's name from the record books. Let history forget he ever even existed.
Yes, if you'll excuse me for a moment. As Gonfaloniere, it is my duty to ensure that the city of Firenze remains a shining beacon of justice. Corruption and its ilk shall find no purchase here so long as I am in control.
You are a treasure, Uberto. I hope Lorenzo recognizes that.
Yes, our great leader, Lorenzo. I'll see you ladies later.
Dillo che ti piaccio.
You would have done the same. To save the ones you love.
Yes, I would. And I have.
The Auditori are not dead! I'm still here! Me! Ezio! Ezio Auditore!
My brother, you don't have the throats off.
think it's best I leave Firenze.
Where will you go?
My uncle Mario owns a villa near Monteregioni.
You're still a wanted man, Ezio.
What would you have me do then?
I've seen posters all across the district. Tearing them down will help the city forget your face. No doubt the heralds also incite the public. Bribe them, and they'll speak of other things. Or you could hunt those who bear false witness against you. They traded dignity for coin. Their loss would not be mourned. Do any of these things, and you should be free to leave.
I've added a program for tracking notoriety. This little meter will help you know how far you are between notorious and incognito.
Do not be taken in by malicious rumors. This man is a brutal, cold-hearted killer. We must all work toward his apprehension. State attenti!
Bentornato, Ezio. Were you successful?
Yes. Madre?
Ezio! Where have you been? They wouldn't let us leave. And Mother, oh, she hasn't spoken a single word since we left the house. Father will need to sort things out. Where is Father? And Federico? And Petruccio? Hmm?
Something's happened.
What do you mean? No, it's impossible.
Claudia.
No.
I did everything I could, Piccina. Listen, right now what matters is getting us all someplace safe. But to do that, I need you to stay focused. Do you understand? Good. Will you watch over Mother for me? Then we are ready. Thank you again for everything.
Stay safe, Ezio. Stay vigilant. I suspect the road ahead is yet long.
How could this have happened to us?
I don't know.
Will we ever be back?
I don't know. Seguimi.
What will happen to our house?
I don't know.
Were they given a proper burial?
Yes.
So that scene right there is exactly why I chose to go into Brotherhood and get the Christina memories out and put them in the rightful place in the timeline within Assassin's Creed 2. Because in the second Christina memory is where you go and get your father and your brothers and give them a proper burial. But in the game, that doesn't happen. So when Ezio tells his sister that yes, they were given a proper burial, I always thought he was just saying that to make her feel better. But then when you play Brotherhood and you play the Christina memories, you realize that Ezio went back and did give his brothers and father a proper burial. And so that kind of gave me the idea, maybe I should take those memories out of Brotherhood and put them in their rightful place within the timeline of Assassin's Creed 2. And I'm really glad I did, because it feels in context like this scene right here. It gives it context. So I'm really happy that I did it.
They were. We should be close.
Grazie a Dio.
Buongiorno, Ezio. How could you leave Firenze without saying a proper goodbye?
Ezio!
What do you want, Vieri?
So many things. A larger palazzo, 2 new steeds,
A prettier bride? Oh, and yes, your life. Finish him, and do not spare the women. What sorcery is this?
Not sorcery, boy. Skill.
Show yourself!
As you wish. Here, use this.
Kill them! Kill them all!
You have my thanks.
Keep the sword, Ezio.
Do I know you from somewhere?
Don't you recognize me? It's a me, Mario!
Uncle Mario?
It's been too long, Nipote. Far too long. I heard what happened in Firenze. Terrible. Come, let's get you all away from here.
Of course, that song, that infamous song. Actually, I wouldn't call it infamous. It's so good. Alright, so that is Assassin's Creed 2 Episode 2. Pretty good episode. There's a lot of feels. You catch a lot of feels in this one because obviously watching your brothers and father get hung pretty bad, then actually having to carry their bodies and bury them properly. I guess you don't see the actual burial part, but and then Ezio leaving Christina behind, and then having to tell, you know, your sister, because the Maria, the mother, she's gone mute. She's in like shock, and then so Claudia doesn't know anything, and so having to tell her, like, and then seeing her reaction. Obviously there's like some feels of anger watching Uberto walk around that party, get praised for killing your family, and then finally getting your revenge and justice. It's and it's still, you know, it's still very early on, the very beginning of the game. Ezio still has, at this point, Ezio has no clue about the Assassins and the Templars. It's another good writing technique where you keep the protagonist in the dark, and then as the protagonist learns things, so does the reader or the viewer or the player. The writing in these games was so on point. So that's going to be it for this video. In the next video, we'll be watching Assassin's Creed Season 2, Episode 3, where Ezio begins his assassin training. So thank you everyone for tuning in to this video. I hope everyone has a great day. Subscribe. If you have anything to say, an opinion of your own about the game or the story writing, let me know in the comments. I really enjoy talking about Assassin's Creed with other people that love Assassin's Creed. So go ahead and leave a comment down below. That said, we will see everyone in the next video. Bye everyone.